All right. Good morning. Good morning. Friday morning. Let me look that up just a little bit. Friday morning. Um, Looking at the movers from yesterday, we had GSIT, ENVB, GFAI, ALIM, and PHIO. I did not take many trades this week at all. I did a lot of observation. I took like one trade, but it was a break even trade, green trade, but break even trade basically. Um, and I did not do a recap on it because it was nothing, literally nothing. But yeah, this week has definitely been, or yesterday was definitely very hot. The SPY went up and touched the 420s and it's still around that 420 level. Of course, we were talking about it in the Discord and how things were moving. I was like, man, this hot Thursday may make a dead Friday. So we'll see if we get those because every Friday we've seen random poppers after the open. And looking over here on the scans today, we got PLTR up here again leading the way with 3 million shares traded. Good morning, GD. And then we have FTCH up 18%. What is their news? Adam saying so it looks like a price target set to $6. Okay, it's at 5.15. Foot Locker had a drop off after releasing their earnings. They did take a little bit of a loss. SDA, I don't know what that is. It's up 66%, but not really getting a whole lot of volume there. We'll see what happens when it opens. Not really the lowest float either. Let me go look at this float real quick. SDA. What is your float? Sun Car Technology. Float NA, so we don't even know. Okay, let's go to FinViz then. Not there either. Not much to go on that one. Oh well. We'll see how they want to play. I'll go ahead and add PLTR up here just to keep it in mind of what the top volume is above $2. And then everything else under it, we'll just have to see how it plays. As for low floats, I mean, we're not seeing really low floats. The lowest one we got is GSIT, and GSIT was on the move yesterday, so may need a little bit of consolidation on today. Moved from 416 up here to 676 on yesterday. Not even a million shares traded today, though. Hopefully you guys have had a good trading week though. Caught some dubs, caught some wins. Oh, I forgot to do the YouTube thing. Let me see. Where do I need to go? Time it. Go to thumbs, spam, select. I always forget to do this. Horrible. All right, there we go. We got about, oh, we got 25 minutes to the bell. Trying to identify things with volume and things reaching obvious support. GFAI continues to go down. Had a pop there into aftermarket. It looked like it had a head and shoulders look here on the 15-minute with this shoulder, a nice head, and then a shoulder, and then ripped into aftermarket. So I'm guessing anybody that was short this thing could have got scared out of their position during the aftermarket, but now it's back down to this previous position of the right around the 575s. Definitely not a whole lot of volume on the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up some of these that don't seem to be getting any play. Let's look at Foot Locker. Baba is also up here on the top volume movers as well. We'll see what that thing's doing. It's been taking a little bit of a dip down. Let's see. Lows here around the 80s that it seems to be heading towards. We'll see what it does down there. Pretty clear line of support down here though. Let's look back a little bit further. And a little bit more at the 74s. And a little bit more at the 62s. So we'll see what Baba does end of week, coming into a nice dip towards, and it's coming into a dip while the SPY is ripping. So, you know, it must actually be weak. So everything else that strongly follows the SPY has definitely been up. Plus, let's look at some of these dividend stocks. Okay, let's see what we got here. Schwab still down here, muddling around. I would love to see a breakdown of the 45 on some of these banking stocks. They have just been coming back up, Bank of America and all these, but I'm okay. I'll take entry when I feel that it is right. GBIO, Square, PayPal at the 61s. PayPal did break the low. It had a little bit of support right through here. Broke that support down to, I think, not all-time lows, but definitely lows of the 61, and waiting for that one to come on down as well. I'm patient with these longer term plays. I really am. I can sit back all day and watch them fall. Doesn't matter to me. This was that cancer drug we saw a while back. TRVN still headed back down. Came back, had a pop up here to 327s, but just gave back all the profits and heading towards under $1 today. So let that die. Reliable Rudy says looks like 80 on Baba. Yep, looks like about 80. But that's just the first test. It's got a couple of levels of support down here. We'll see what it wants to do. GSIT through a top up here of the 670s for resistance. Only up 8% though, so that's not really something that we'll probably focus on Need something with a little bit more reaction power. Possibly lower. Yep. I know one thing. If Baba hits 60s, you're gonna be buying a whole bunch of it. That's the lowest. That's the lowest low level that it has on the charts right now. Or maybe I'm not looking back far enough. Let me go over here to Baba on the daily. Yeah, looking over here on TOS, 59s ish. That is low. We'll see what the SPY wants to do. Does it want to continue upward, or does it want to fold and hold, like go flat today? You want a safe trade, FAST, fast flat top setup. FAST. Let's see. 61 shares traded on the day. That is, I mean, I guess it could go. I don't know. 61 shares traded on the day. Let me look at, now it does have a dividend. What is fast? Go look at what fast is. Fast, go to profile. Industrial distribution. Fastenal company, together with its subsidiaries, engages in wholesale distribution of industrial and construction supplies in the United States, Canada, Mexico, and internationally. It offers fasteners and related industrial and construction supplies under the Fastenal name. The company's fastener products include threaded fasteners, bolts, nuts, screws, studs, and related washers, okay, which is used for manufactured products. We know, rivets, all that. Company serves, okay, we know that. Okay. So it was established in 1967 and headquartered in Winona, Minnesota. Winona, Minnesota. Oh, return on assets, management effectiveness, 20.58%. Profit margins, 15. Operating margin, 20. Okay. What about operating cash flow, 1.1 billion? And then it also pays a dividend. The only thing that scares me about doing breakouts on dividend stocks is that if they're paying out a dividend, they are in a gestation, or in a not a gestation period, but they're not looking to expand a whole lot. When companies start paying out dividends, when they're not paying out any dividends, they're trying to get all the cash. They're trying to get to where they want to be, right? But if they're paying out dividends, buying a breakout on that, I don't know. When I see dividend stocks, I think long-term hold, where I buy low and just, let it grow. This thing is looking like you said, approaching a high as a dividend stock. Maybe it'll break out. I don't know. Are they increasing the dividend? Let's go look at the news on this one. FAST. Fast. Let's see. Any kind of news. Raises their price target from 56. To 56 from 48. So their price target right now is 56, and the price of it is 55. Let's see, fast. So 55, 55. I don't know. Can it reach that 56? Maybe over the next couple of months. It did say back in January they surpassed 1 billion in sales outside of the United States. So apparently they got a lot of traction outside of the US for what they do. But yeah, may not be one for today, but could move, and it does do the dividend. So 55 bucks dividend yield 2.52. Then dividend, what's this other one? Dividend amount 140 per share. That's pretty good. That's a high dividend too. I don't know how often that comes out. Let me look at, there's a yearly dividend or what? Fast dividend payout. Dividend payout schedule. Next dividend payout, May 25th. So the dividend is coming up here in a week. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, in like a week. Yep, $1.40. Dividend shares is $1.40. Annual dividend. So that means monthly. What's that broken up into a monthly basis? I don't know. So that's about 11 cents per month per share. But you get the payout annually. So if you bought 100 shares times 11 cents, that'll be 11 bucks per month. At the end of the year, you'll have 132 bucks. You're going to have to buy some shares. You're going to have to buy, and 100 shares of that $55 stock, you're going to have to put up 5,500 bucks and let it sit. If you buy, let's say 10,000 shares, that's really where you start kind of making some money. But how fast will you make the 10,000 back that you actually put in? 10,000 shares times the 55 is $550,000. But you get that 11-cent payout on those 10,000 shares per month, which would be 1,100 bucks per month. So end of the year, you get paid back what? 13. So you actually make your money back in about a year if you put in 10 or you got 10,000 shares of that. So oh no, you wouldn't make your money back in a year. Why? Because if you had to put up 10,000 shares times what? What was the original? 55. No. So you had to put up this and make 13,000. Oh my, nah. What percentage of 550 is 13,000 is the question. 13,000 divided by 550,000. That is a 2% gain per year. That is not going to pay you back, and it's not going to be interest either. Interest is going to eat you up on that. So I don't know if that would be worth it. That's like a credit card pay. That's basically what you get back on some of these credit card rewards. You might as well just get a credit card and spend on that. You get the same thing back. 2%. But I don't know. It's up to you. How you feeling? How much money you want to put on it? Okay, back to the actual market today. Let's see what we got out here. You can make a buck off of it, but I don't know. I mean, like what we saw yesterday with all those stocks running up and not giving any dips, you could have made a buck in one day. You know what I'm saying? Take, you know, you making $11 per month on 1,000 shares or whatever it was. I think it was 1,000, 100, whatever. And you could take one trade in one day and make 200 bucks. So it's like risk versus reward. What are you willing to risk for the reward? With that dividend, definitely a I don't know. It depends on your strategy too. If you have a strategy that pays out like that. If you don't have any strategy and you don't have any investments, sure. You know, and if you have the capital to put out, sure, go dividends. But I say diversify. Use a little bit for trading, use a little bit for dividends, use a little bit for other cash flowing vehicles, and level the playing field. So even if you do lose in one, you got this other one continually pumping out gains. Baba continue to push down here, or has it even moved? Maybe it's paused there. I think it was there when I last looked at it. GSIT going back up towards the top here. Had a previous high at the 827s, right around the 8 right under the 825s. It's pushing these highs. It's come up here and test this high into aftermarket, then another time closer to pre-market, and then another time here closer to open. We have 8 minutes to the opening bell. GSIT up 12%, but let's look at that volume. The volume is 1,600,000 shares traded on the day. So we'll see how that competes in the environment today, and if we get any pop-up stocks behind that one that try to challenge it. Right now, looking over here on the scans, we got Microsoft up here, BABA, Amazon, PACW, GSIT, Tesla, SDA. I don't know how that thing is staying up there, but it when I looked at the chart, it didn't look great. Over here on TLS, had a big fall, was at $16.65 and fell down here to $4.10 yesterday. And then now it's back up to almost $7, but I mean, I don't know. That's quite a big of a gap down right there. Then we got Foot Locker, FTCH, and PLTR. I'm gonna watch all these until something comes and challenges. I'm gonna watch them all. Let's see, GS. Okay, that seems like not 10. Footlocker, PM, GSTI, Tesla. Oh, Pack CW, that one. Okay. So we got our 10 top volume movers, and we want to see what comes up here in challenges. PLTR is one of, I mean, all of these look kind of like they had their run yesterday. 10 up to 12. FTCH into aftermarket 4 up to right around the 550s. Foot Locker dying. All of these got the same setup. Hmm. Let's see. Reliable says, I was just saying, okay, like I said, safe trade, get the entry, let it make the move. Ninth largest holding from 47. Oh, you're good. Yeah, you're good. You're in from the 47s. You made your money either way because you bought low. And then he says up here at 55, probably not a long-term play, more of just a flat top trade. Yeah. It's always good to be in low. The lower, the better. Let's see how these dividend stocks are looking coming into the open. Asset management. Okay. See if we can get a Freaky Friday where we get some kind of low float waking up here. I am trading. My scans are set to look for things over $2. So if there's anything lower, like $1, under $1 and all that, I'm not gonna see them. I just kind of stay away from those because I don't like their movements. They don't really give me what I want, and the supports don't really do what I like them to do. So I aim higher, and if I don't see anything that I like, I just walk away. Walk away and live to fight another day. I usually take 1 to 2 trades per day, like one entry. I may enter multiple times for that one trade, but usually I'll add one, get a little starter position, add a little bit more until I'm up to full size. And usually I take between 2,000 to about 4,000 shares or something like that. But I really try not to go anywhere over that. I'm only looking for a small amount, anywhere from 10 to 14 cents on a win. That's it. But this trade this week, it did not give me. Well, it gave me the 10 cents, but I was on that day. I was looking for. I was like, man, this thing could do 14. Let's do it. And I just put my stop right at break even, 2 cents above break even, because usually I've noticed that Charles Schwab, you get about 1 cent of slippage, and so I really am kind of careful with that 1 cent. I'm like, okay, if I got 4,000 shares, I'm like, okay, every cent is $40. So let me just put it 2 cents higher, and I could just keep it a green day. If you put it right at break even, you're gonna end red. I always prepare for slippage. But when they do go, they go. They bounce hard. All right, the market just opened up. Number top mover on the day, PLTR. Everything showing us a little bit of red at market open. Amazon coming up here very strong. Trying to work its way up or down. Up in volume, but down on the day. GSIT. It's Pretty much the same sentiment across the board. GSIT is the lowest float that we have on the day, though, on the map. But let's look at the top volume mover versus its volume. It's just now reaching the, 3 million here. We got a 9 million up here. So it's going to have to definitely work to get back into the market's good graces. GSIT testing this right around the 650, right under the 675s. We'll see what holds green on the day as well. So GSIT and FTCH are holding green, and then PACW, which is that bank that's been falling forever. So I don't know about that one. PLTR had a top up here of the 12, right around the 1220s. And it's hard to find an obvious spot here on this 4-hour because it had a move up yesterday, but it didn't do any kind of pullback. So we'll see what happens today for, wow, look at PLTR. Gee whiz. Didn't have any kind of pullbacks for support, but still pushing. And this is what I was talking about yesterday afternoon. Either we're going to see the market go flat or we're going to see the market continue to push. And looking at the overall market here, or not the overall market, looking at the SPY here, we see that it had a top up here of 420, made its way down a little bit. Does it want to continue up or go flat on the day? PLTR with a nice little breakout from the 12, 15s up here to the 25s. Not a huge breakout. It's not a low float, so that's expected. FTCH getting on up as well. Looking for some more meat, some more low float meat to pop up, some of that spontaneous stuff. Now all of them are showing green for a while. We'll see who holds strong on the day. Who's going to start getting up, 10, 20%, 30%. When we see those double-digit gainer numbers. GSIT going on down. PLTR definitely holding green, up 1%. And some of these are going to need to chop around, especially higher floats like PLTR and FTCH. They may do some drops, but they are looking strong from yesterday. Nice run up. Continue to push there. So these are the types that need to fail for low floats to get some action. This one is pushing to the moon. From the 1213s up here to the 1233s. 16 million shares traded here. And so we look at the environment and we're seeing, hey, people are focused up here for some reason. So that may be reason to watch this one for a fall before we try to get too crazy on anything else. Okay, touching the 1240s up there. Does it have an obvious level out here somewhere? Yep. All the way back here on the 4-hour chart had a high. Nope, it's already past that. Never mind. That was 1182. That was that previous high here. Past that, and that's the bottom right there. So we'll see what it does back towards that level. Of course, we've only been 5 minutes to the open bell. We'll see if they can get down through this 11 or either test this 1170. But with the way it's moving in the high float, I don't know if it's going to come back down like that. It's going to be less volatility and more stability. SDA pushing up there as well. SDA, I don't know what's going on with that one. It had a top up here of 775. I thought it was an IPO, but I didn't see any IPO news. It was an acquisition merger. That's what it is. So never mind on that one. acquisition merger. That's why it doesn't have any kind of crazy volume. All right, FTCH getting a little bit of pressure. Had a top up here, the 550. And everything holding green right now. So, FTCH pushing back up there, retesting. So we may have some continuation in the market. I don't know. Is the market holding up 420? Yeah, it's still holding around 420. I wouldn't be super convinced until this thing starts breaking. If it starts breaking towards the 421, it's going to be a problem. Everything's going to start getting bullish. But for right now, on this first 15-minute candle, the low is 419 during intraday. So we go ahead and slap a support out there on the SPY across the board for support. Jump over here and see how these are doing. Banking stocks. Schwab looking beautiful for another leg down. Took a leg down, came back up. Took a leg down, came back up a little bit. Took a leg down. Now it's up here. I want to see some more legs down. So we know for a fact that this level is probably going to need to be tested. This 1170-ish level, 1160-ish. So we'll see what happens. We have about, we got a couple of minutes before this 15-minute closes, but we don't know what's going to happen today. But definitely watching this up, the SPY getting up to 420.50s, pushing on up there. So it made this low at 419. And I was like, okay, if this thing can start breaking out, we may see continuation across the board. So right now it's looking like it's becoming more and more bullish. And also, like Reliable loves to look at the SQQ and TQQ. Let's see what they're doing today. Okay, SQQ is still continuing down. The TQQ, which we were watching yesterday, and I saw it when it was right here. I was like, yo, this thing is it's looking bullish. Now, of course, this is not something that I usually trade, but you can see this thing with the SPY moving like it was moving. The TQQ was taking off. Came down or moved from the 30 up to the 31s, came down, tested about halfway of almost halfway of the move, but not really. Tested that 31 hold there and then ripped some more. So if the SPY continues to be bullish, it could definitely be one of those days where momentum traders capitalize because things are continuing higher. And they're going to capitalize on, like, is Tesla following? Yeah, Tesla is one of them. FTCH seems to be following the SPY as well. So all you got to do is just find things that are following the SPY when it's going up, and they're taking little scalps, doing little things like that, and also following the volume. So right now, we only have, 3 up here with 10 million shares traded. So plenty of liquidity for big share sizes to get in and out. The top is still PLTR though, with almost 30 million shares up there. A lot of liquidity. Google just popped up there, GOOGL. GOOGL. And BABA disappeared for a moment because it is not keeping up in volume. But we'll definitely keep an eye on the TQQ. TQQ very bullish right now. SQQ probably in continuation downwards. It has a bottom here of the 25 on the dot, looks like. So can it break down this 25 support? And can TQQ break above this 3250 for resistance? Because they're inverses and they move with and against the SPY, respectively. So yeah, a lot of volume in the TQQ, SQQ environment. FTCH, what was the news on that one? Why is it up? Farfetch stock is rallying. Two analysts. Okay, so they had a price adjustment. Why are y'all going up though? Let me bring this over here. Farfetched. Okay, maintains an outperform on Farfetch, raises price to 12. What do they do? FTCH. Internet retail. Yeah, based out of the United Kingdom, London. Internet retail. That's interesting that that's going up today. That's weird. Could it be a distraction from the TQQ and the SQQ? I don't know. And let's also look at PLTR. Is this a distraction from TQQ, SQQ? Or some of these other movers that I'm seeing out here? Let's look through here. GSIT, SD, Apple. No more fake chat GPT apps. Okay, real deal on iOS. Blah, blah, blah. Apple is on the hunt for generative AI talent. So again, AI getting hot in some of these names. Google, let's see. Google is spared a search engine switch by major partner. Okay. Apple bans some staff from using ChatGPT, but iPhone users now have an app for it. I bet people writing all kinds of codes. Write a code for visiting the moon. Let's see. Tesla, Apple, Palantir, Alibaba. You're not really seeing much on AMD today. But we know Foot Locker's falling because of earnings. Tesla sued for negligent design after crash involving sudden automatic acceleration. Okay, so Tesla should be taking a hit, but their stock is going up. So let's continue to watch Tesla. Some of these are they usually move with the market, but some of them actually have catalysts that should be negatively affecting them. But sometimes catalyst takes a while to actually affect the market or affect the ticker. So PLTR finally coming back to test this previous level that we had identified, this 1177s. Let's see how easily it breaks down that level. 35 million shares traded so far. FTCH, that luxury retail company, will it have enough juice to jump out of there? The top is the 550s and continue to find a little bit of resistance around that 550 level. So the first 15 minutes has closed. TQQ giving a little bit of a move down. SQQ can move up, but it doesn't really matter because the SPY is still holding the 420s. It's going to need to break down this 419 for people to be like, oh man, this thing is bearish. But even if it breaks down, I still think that it's got a good chance of holding up the 419s and going flat. Right across this bottom here, can identify a little bit of support where it got bought up here. The only other support here on the hour chart from the other day is 418, and we can look back a little bit further for more support. But these three levels are pretty prominent across the board on the hour chart. 418, 417-ish level. Even back here, 418, 417. So yeah, I think those will hold. One of those will hold. We'll see. GSIT, I'm gonna go ahead and take that one off. PLTR with a big dump through this level here, and we'll see. That was a fast dump to that level. Will they get confident here with that kind of reaction to this level to try to buy it up, or will it actually force them out because when higher caps, larger market caps get momentum going, it takes more shares to stop them. So we'll see if people get in here and they're like, oh, it'll bounce. Could bounce, but yeah, definitely pushing them out of there. Does have a previous bottom here, the aftermarket and pre-market bottom here of the 1166 that it may give a small bounce off of, but I think the momentum is going to take it downwards anyway. So PLTR, we can see that right across there. Test of these lows here. Want to see a breakdown of the 1160s. And that's what we're looking for. We want something that's obvious. What can everybody see, right? But we also have to take into consideration float and outstanding shares and catalysts and all of that, so that we can be sure that we don't get burned. GSIT, what are you doing down here? Why do you keep popping on and off the scans? Oh, that's why. GSIT pushing back up here towards the top of the 670 or 667. Big pullback on the 4-hour. The low of this 4-hour was 605. It jumped up 60 cents here. That's a lot of jumping. So we can go ahead and draw that support in there and see if it actually holds that. At this point, if you're a breakout trader, maybe you'll get some play on it. It's only up 11% though, but looking like it wants to push towards this high of the 686 for resistance, but it's still got a lot of competition on the day. Maybe it'll get up. It is the lowest float on the scans, so maybe people will jump into it because of that. We'll see here in a second. Got 6 million shares in direct competition with PACW and looking to work its way up. So GSIT, one of the 10 top volume movers still, and looking to take a position away from SDA, looks like, catching up with SDA. Woo! Okay. So a little bit of resistance still at that top, but more volume coming in. The first candle had 3 million shares traded. This one's got 1 million. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be a grinder throughout the day. But definitely still had a bullish day yesterday. Has a bottom of what? The 593s down here for possible support before. And the next support is probably down here, the 550s. Right above this previous consolidation level. Maybe a little bit lower. I don't know. We'll just say 550. But yeah, doing this thing there. Coming back up on the volume. Average ATR is about 50 cents that it's doing. And my ATR, my average true range, is based on the last 6 15-minute candles. What was the range of those candles and what's the average cents that is paying out? And I think that's an hour and a half. 6 candles is an hour and a half. So what has it been paying out in the last hour and a half? But it is a custom ATR. So if you're running the ATR, it may not be the same as yours. I think the default is 14 periods on TOS. Getting pushed all the way back down here. So why we don't get too excited when it's not at the top. It's got a lot of competition up here getting pushed down like this, but we can keep an eye on it. Where does it want to stop falling? Does it want to stop falling? SDA. Oh, that's the one that was the acquisition. Again, not really in the top competition though. PLTR did get a bounce here off this 1165 that we saw. I mean, that was an obvious bounce. Everybody can see this bottom here. Everybody and their mom. But what is the criteria of your strategy? I'm thinking it can continue downwards. We'll see. FTCH still holding up these resistance levels. Tesla coming on down. TQQ coming on down. SQQ. Okay, so GSIT, we'll see where this closes. We got about 6 minutes to the close of the next 15-minute candle. And we're gathering a lot of information that can keep you from losing your shoes. Because a lot of times, you know, you're like, hey, man, let's just get in there. But we got to look for obvious things that everybody can see to profit off of. That meets our strategy. TQQ coming on down. Had a bottom here of the 3180s on during the aftermarket, pre-market area. But the SPY is continuing up. So I don't know how far the TQQ will go down if the SPY starts breaking towards that 421 level. Okay. GSIT still doing this thing there. SDA Apple. I put Apple on here. I did not put Apple on here. AAPL. I need to clean up some of this. I think I'm watching too much. I don't like watching too much. PACW can go. Just want to keep it around 10. Plus the TQQ and SQQ. But I could watch those up here. I got those up here as well. So that was a 20-cent pop off this level, 1160s. And for those that did not take that pop, they could be saying, oh man, that was a great pop. Let me get in now and maybe this thing will hold up. But you know, the obvious level was here. There's no obvious level up here. There's obvious level, maybe resistance, you know, resistance at the top of this, the body of this counter, what, $12? But there's no obvious level up here. So I'm thinking they're going to get crushed out. And it's going to go ahead and drive them past this 1160, drop through 1160. If we look at the level twos, we see 15,000 just was on the bid. We see 14,000 on the ask now. Will we see more and more red come through? Will they be trading below the bid? Not seeing red or green right now. They're just trading within the spread. That's one good thing about having a tight spread is you can get a whole lot of fills where you want them. There's the breakdown. And so the people that bought right here thinking it was going to hold up at a non-obvious level are getting clapped. That's how you do it. That's it. It's simple, you know? Let them get stomped out. Not buying obvious levels. FTCH continue to put the wings on. Flying through the top at the 547s up here for resistance. Or actually, that's support now, my bad. And we'll look back on the chart and see if anything aligns with this level on FTCH, the retail company. So we had a top up here, looks like the 573s on the 4-hour chart. Resistance, which it is reaching towards. And then beyond that, we have more resistance into this consolidation. Top of this consolidation is around the right under the $6. But we'll see how it tests this 575 first. If it can break that, then maybe the next resistance gets put in. But I don't like putting resistance too far away on these types, these higher floats. PLTR continues to just gather people down here around this level before it drops through. 47 million shares traded here. Think about how many people are, I mean, when you think about percentage wise, how many people are in PLTR that just don't know what they're doing? Don't know. See, the bigger the volume, the more stupid you have in there. You have a lot of smart, but you definitely have a lot of stupid. And so now what happens to stupid people at a obvious level where it's already bounced on this level and they're thinking, well, maybe it'll hold. It'll definitely hold, right? Okay. Okay. Almost 50 million shares traded there. Actually, I'm just going to watch them get crushed right here. That's what I want to watch. I don't think it's going to take too long after it starts cracking. I'm gonna give them a little bit of time. It may take a bit because that is a higher float. All right, FTCH returning back to the 550 level, coming back through the 550. It got close to the 575, but really didn't clear that point. And now holding on the previous level that was resistance and trying to make it support. Well, we'll see how that goes for it. 30 million shares on the board. Tesla still kind of chopping around. Where's the SPY doing? SPY came back under 450. It's kind of just holding here. Like I said yesterday, either the SPY was going to go flat or it's going to keep going up. I don't know if it's going to just drop because this is a lot of buying through here for it to just drop. So we'll see. Okay, GSIT is looking like it wants to get down through those levels. Let's go look at this one real quick. This one's still working its way down as well. Okay, something new just popped in. Let's see, what was that? Nvidia just popped up. And GSIT disappeared off of the watch. So I'm going to get rid of that one as well. Doesn't want to be in the top 10, and it doesn't want my money. Or my participation, rather. I don't just be giving away money like that. Anyway, are you guys seeing anything that you're actively participating in? I'm not seeing a whole lot of low flows, but I am seeing a whole lot of action around some of these other ones. PLTR cracking down this bottom here of the 1165. Let's see a stronger pulse through there, stronger momentum through there. Because I know for a fact they got people trapped in here that was in here around the 1187s. They're like, it'll come back up. It'll definitely, they're praying. They're bleeding. They're sweating. But yeah, I think they're going to die there. FTCH did break down a little bit as well, forming what looks like a little flat area here. So now the thesis of the SPY going flat is becoming more and more clear. If everything starts to range, even with bad news, good news, whatever, they just start to kind of range sideways. It's becoming more clear. For SPY down through the 420s, taking a drop as well. So we had levels out here that we were watching. The first one was the 419. The next one was the the first one was the 420. Seeing if the 420 could hold. It's about to break that down. And then the 419 and then the 418 down here. But I don't know if it can get all the way to the 418. I think it's going to do a little bit more sideways transactions. And this isn't based on any kind of news that's coming out or anything like that. That's just on looking at the candles, looking at the movements of the candles, and slowly formulating a thesis of the overall market of the day. Notice what I said, slowly. Slowly formulating a thesis, not rushing into anything. Because the thing is, for the traders that do full-time day trade and they do sit there all day, you're going against them with all they've been watching the market. They know how it moves. They know the actions. They're pretty much married to some of these tickers, especially the higher floats. And so when you're coming in trading and making quick decisions, when they got a whole plan set up, it may get nasty for you. It may get real nasty. They've been planning. They've been planning just for you, just for a trader to come in and make the wrong trade. Okay, SD, that's going off. Apple's up there though. So we got a lot of them around the 10 million mark. Nvidia, Amazon, Google, and Apple all around that 10 million volume mark. Let me see what they got going on. I think we read Apple already. Yeah, they were on the hunt for, which one was it? Maybe it was Amazon that I hadn't read yet. Amazon Cloud, or no. TikTok quietly hiring after imposing a freeze amid U.S. clampdown on TikTok. Okay, that was the other day. Not really seeing big news on Amazon, but I'm seeing big volume. So Google going on down. SPY holding up that 420 level again. SQQ, I'm thinking it's going to continue down once the SPY recovers. TQQ giving a nice little dip. And it's hard to do a obvious entry on TQQ when you can flip over here and look at the SPY. If the SPY isn't doing something obvious, TQQ definitely isn't going to be doing something obvious. But it looks like the SPY popped up, what, 25 cents there? From the 420 flat up to the 420. So yeah, getting into a flat range here. So my thesis is checking out. Foot Locker continuing down, had horrible Q1 report or something like that. Q1. PLTR continuing with this momentum down through this obvious level. Now I expect this obvious level to definitely become resistance. So I'm going to change this to red. I'm expecting that level to be the resistance. $53 million shares traded on that one. It's almost doubling everything on the day. Almost. Except for FTCH. And we haven't seen any of those random pop-up low floats that can compete with any of this, because they would have popped up by now. So yeah, good analysis on this morning. I just wanted to come in and see if there was anything interesting out of the open. We've been 30 minutes in and not seeing any low floats. We've only seen a takeover of large caps. The ATRs on them, you can see those here. PLTR about 30 cents per candle, per 15-minute candle in the last half hour. FTCH 25. Tesla's definitely been moving. It's probably going to continue to recalculate. AMD $1.09. Foot Locker 92 cents. Nvidia very volatile, $2.60. Not volatile, but very big range of movement on its candles. AMZN 64. Google $1.13. Apple. And so as the day goes on and the candles get smaller, these will size on down to where the range is. But yeah, that is it for me today. I'm not seeing anything that I'm interested in. I just want to kind of map out some levels, see if there was any low floats that were active for me. And yeah, I'm going about my day, because again, I am very willing to walk away. I'm okay. I can go and do 100 other things. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you're interested in subscribing, you can do that as well. I stream on Twitch and I stream on YouTube. If you're more into that than one than the other, then okay. One is just faster than the other, which is Twitch. It's more live reaction. But yeah, that's it for me today. If you're gonna continue trading, be careful. Be trading the obvious things, obvious for everybody, and don't be making stuff up in your mind that don't exist. And yeah, that's it. Watch PLTR continue to take people to the grave, and have a great day, great weekend. And as always, I will see you guys on Monday morning, back looking for some low floats that will give us some play. And yeah, that's it. Look at this thing, man. Look at this. I said that's it. Look at this thing continuing to take them to the grave, man. That is just funny. But anyway, let me go ahead and get off of here. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.